Hi, I'm Rabbi Dunner. Welcome to my weekly Erev Shabbos Dvar Torah. This Dvar Torah is sponsored by Bob Zeller and Nadine Gerson in memory of Bob's father, Herbert Zeller, Herschel ben Leib, Zichrono Livrocha, whose yard site is on the 27th of Sivan. The Neshama should have an aliyah. Now, did you know that there is a name change right at the beginning of Parshat Shelach? Yep, the Torah tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu changed Hoshea ben Nun's name to Yehoshua. Do you know what the new name means? Translated from Hebrew into English, it means, may Hashem save you, Yehoshua. May Hashem save you. Moshe changed Hoshea ben Nun's name to Yehoshua so that his name meant that Hashem would save him. All the commentaries are puzzled as to why Moshe Rabbeinu was so worried about Yehoshua for him to think that it was necessary to change his name, and specifically to this name, Yehoshua. My illustrious ancestor, the Maharal, writes that Moshe Rabbeinu loved Yehoshua especially, more than anyone else, because Yehoshua was his most faithful student, and that's why he changed his name. The Maharal says that it would have been terrible, and it would have looked terrible, if Yehoshua had not carried out the spying mission faithfully. It would have been so embarrassing. That's why Moshe felt that he needed to pray for Yehoshua in particular and change his name, and to ask Hashem to save him from going off in the wrong direction. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure I like that pshat very much. Do you? I mean, it makes Moshe sound a bit vain, don't you think? Like it was all about him. More importantly, if Moshe was already praying for Yehoshua not to do the wrong thing, why didn't he just pray for all of the Meraglim at the same time? Doesn't it seem a bit unfair and actually quite selfish just to pray for Yehoshua? He's his favorite. And we know that Moshe wasn't selfish. I saw that Rabbi Frand quotes something he saw in Sefer Milchamot Yehuda, who writes that the reason Moshe Rabbeinu felt the need to daven for Yehoshua and not for the other spies is because the other spies had a special zechus, a special merit that Yehoshua didn't have. He's saying that the other spies did not need Moshe's special prayers or for their names to be changed, but that Yehoshua did. Really? Are you kidding? How is that even possible? What was this zechus that the other Meraglim had, but Yehoshua did not have? To answer this question, the Milchamot Yehuda says that the other Meraglim were not involved in the Aveira of the Egel HaZahav, the golden calf, and that was their special merit. Yes, they were there when it happened. They were subjected to this challenging test, but amazingly, they passed that test because they refused to participate and resisted the temptation. But what about Yehoshua? Is the Milchamot Yehuda suggesting that he did participate in the sin of the golden calf? How is that even possible? The answer is that Yehoshua certainly did not participate in the sin of the Egel either, as he was not there at the time. Do you remember he was waiting at the foot of Mount Sinai for Moshe Rabbeinu to come down with the luchos? But do you know what? This means that Yehoshua was not tested, and for that reason, he did not get the zechus of having passed the test. And that's why Moshe felt he needed to daven for Yehoshua especially, because he lacked the zechus that the other spies had, because they didn't participate with those who sinned with a golden calf. It's such a powerful lesson. You know, sometimes people have easy lives and nothing is ever really a challenge for them. And then there's other people who have very difficult lives. They've been tested in every way imaginable. And amazingly, they've emerged from their tests. They have passed their tests. They come out stronger. Of course, we would never pick such a life over an easy life. But it makes sense that the person who has had a more difficult life is better off than someone who's just never been tested. You know what they say, no pain, no gain. And they also say, if this doesn't break me, it will make me. The other spies had an advantage over Yehoshua. They had been tested and come through the test, and this actually credited them with a great zechus. That's why Moshe didn't need to pray for them, and that's why he didn't need to change their names. Although, maybe he should have prayed for them, and things might have turned out differently, but that's another story. Rabbi Frand also mentions a beautiful observation that he heard from the Ponevezh Yeshiva Rav Shach, Zecher Tzadik Livracha. When Yaakov Avinu, Jacob, met Esav after the long separation during which he got married and had children, the Torah says that he put the children of the Pilagshim, Bilhah and Zilpah, ahead of everyone else. And then he put the children of Leah, and after that he placed Rachel's 2 sons. What a very strange thing to do. Why were Bilhah and Zilpah's children put first? Were they just cannon fodder, there to be killed first in case Esav became violent? Were their lives cheaper than the lives of the other children? How does that make any sense? Rav Shach suggests a beautiful answer. On the contrary, he says, Yaakov put the children of the Pilagshim first because they had a bigger zechus. Their brothers mistreated them. They were second-class citizens in the family. Life was tough for them. They had to put up with being discriminated against, and for that reason they had extra merit and were safer than the other children. Leah's sons were next because they were better off. They were better off than the Pilagshim's children, but not than Rachel's children, because Yaakov loved Rachel more, and his children from Leah were not loved to the same extent as Yosef and Binyamin were. That meant that they also had a second-class status in the family. It was a test for them. They passed it, and that gave them extra credit. Rachel's sons did not possess this chus, and were therefore right at the back. They led a privileged existence by being the sons of the favourite wife, so they had the least zechuyos of the entire family. Again, it's such a powerful idea. All of us yearn for an easy life, or at least an easier life. And hopefully our lives overall are not too challenging. But remember this, the easier you have it in life, the more you need to pray and to do mitzvahs. And here's another thought. We need to treat every challenge that comes our way as a zechus opportunity. It's our passport into God's favour. And let me tell you, if this is the attitude we have to life, God will protect us and we will be able to march through life with confidence, thanking Hashem for everything we have and even for everything we don't have. With that, let me wish you a beautiful Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for watching. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos.